morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to the lovely village of Kandalim, and we are actually, it's a sub-ward of Kandalim. We are in Sinkeram. So welcome to the beautiful village of Sinkeram. Sinkeram is known as a fort within a fort. So we'll be exploring a bit of the fort right now. Let us proceed. We are on the lower Aguada fort, or known as the round fort locally. It's a Basilion. So this is basically the Sinkeram beach in front of us, and the fortification that we're standing on right now was basically a lookout to look at the vast view of the Arabian Sea to see if there were any invaders coming inland to attack the Portuguese. So that was the significance of the area that we're standing on. So the name of Aguada actually, Fort Aguada. It's also known as Sinkeram, but the real old name was Fort Aguada. So Fort Aguada actually means Agua Da. So Agua is water and Da is house, so water house. It was also known as the water of the mother. So basically this fort that we have here, this fortification, more than to defend any territory, it was actually a watering house. So as the name suggests, it had many springs under the fort. So you actually had large reservoirs of water, large storage tanks. It was like around 30,000 to 40,000 gallons of water that used to collect from natural springs from under the, from reservoirs from underneath. And you had all the ships that wanted to go back to Portugal, any ship trying to sail away that would stock up here.
So tell us, what kind of tourists comes to Goa?
So we have a very mixed variety of tourists that come to Goa. We've got foreign tourists, we've got Indian tourists, and whereas even what you call nationalities are concerned, like domestic tourists, Indian tourists itself, we have varieties of Indian tourists that come as well. We've got just the party crowd that comes, so they just come to party, the nightlife, and then they may stay in a small hotel. Then you got the other tourists who come for adventure. They come to search for the natural gems of Goa. They want to see the more inland kind of vibes of Goa that we have, like the waterfalls, the fields, the greenery of Goa. And the third type of guest we have actually is guests like you, myself. I mean, I would call myself a guest as well in my own state, because I still don't know much about Goa, even though I lived here for around 19 years. I still don't know even barely the surface of what heritage we have. So you have guests who come for the heritage of Goa. So the actual traditional dances, the local cuisine, you know, the local songs, the actual culture. So you have guests who come culture hunting actually.
So now we are heading for the breakfast.
Yes, a lovely breakfast. So the area we're going to is a surprise, so I won't tell you first. Once we reach there, it'll be a lovely surprise for you.
Goan houses, this is called sopo, a bench. So all houses in Goa you will see these sopes, you know, in the evening times or during midday when people are finished with their cooking, and in the evening after their nap they sit on the sopes, have a cup of chai and then just gossip maybe.
And they will talk to their neighbors?
Yes.
Huh?
Like I will call out to my neighbor and say, how was it today, or something like that. You know, this is typical Goan. So please feel at home.
Thank you. It's a beautiful house.
Thank you so much.
So much of greenery around. Huh?
Surprisingly, Adolfina is my mother.
Surprisingly?
Surprising.
Okay. So this is your house?
Yes, this is my house.
Okay. Now that's a surprise for me.
We are going to be having the shakuti with some lovely chutney that has already been prepared, and appams. Actually Goan kind of appams, because we use toddy in it.
Okay.
Toddy from the coconut tree.
Yeah, so Anubhav, once again welcome to our humble surroundings, and I've prepared a nice breakfast for you and your friend here, Rahul. what I've done is I've made you some nice chutney. In Goa, we have a different way of making the chutney. We use fresh coconut. You can see coconuts are lying all around. Yeah, so we scrape the coconut. We use coriander, fresh coriander leaves, curry patta, which we have in the garden, mint, pudina, ginger, garlic. That's it. Okay, and if needed, a little bit of sugar, of course, with hari mirchi, green chilies. So
And then mustard seeds.
that comes last. So all these are grounds, and last we make a bagar. Some do it, but especially in Goa they don't do that. This mustard seeds and the curry patta. Okay, so that is chutney for you. Since you washed your hands, you can smell it also. You can get the tori smell. Yeah, fresh tori. So I make it on and off because tori is freely available. Thank God. Still, we don't know for how long because there's a shortage of tori peppers. Joshua, have some. Now, another special thing what I have made for you all guys is this is mushroom shakuti. Now, the speciality is the masala. You can take the aroma. Yeah. This also is made of coconut. In Goa, we use a lot of coconut because every house has coconut trees. You can see that. They have it, I have it, then my neighbors have it all around. Yeah, so but this is quite different from other coconut curries we make. What we do is we scrape the coconut first. Even the coconut has to be medium, not too raw, not too matured. We scrape the coconut and then we roast it. Okay, we keep it aside. Then all the spices are roasted. Red chilies, cumin, haldi. Haldi is used last, of course, it is not roasted. Ginger, garlic, still roasted. Maybe 1 or 2 green chilies depending on how pungent you want it, how spicy you want it. Cloves, cinnamon, and if you want you can add curry patta, it depends on your choice. All these spices, coriander seeds, roasted, and then you have to wait till it cools down. And then the spices are ground separately into a paste and the coconut is ground separately. Even the coconut is separated into 2 parts. First you grind and make it into very fine, and the second part is made a little bit rawish like, so it gets that consistency. But again, the Hindus have a little bit of different way of making shakuti. They don't use ginger garlic.
So tell us about your family. Like since how long you have been living here?
This village, Joshua must have told you, it's one of the smallest villages in Goa with a population of not more than 225. Okay, it fluctuates. During the Portuguese time, there were 3 ships that came from Germany. Warships they were, but they came under the guise of merchant navy. And they anchored here off the coast of Marmagoa Harbour. You know Marmagoa Harbour. These 3 ships anchored in the Arabian Sea next to the mouth of the river Mandovi. Now these 3 ships actually were spying in neutral waters because Goa was under the Portuguese and Portugal was not involved in the war. They had a very powerful transmitter on board. They were spying on the British Navy and sending information to the U-boats in Germany. And that's how the British Navy was being targeted. So the suspicion grew and grew since they had an intelligence unit in Calcutta, British intelligence unit. So they sent their guys here to find out what was happening. Meanwhile, what the German captain did was, he set fire on off all these 3 ships and he scuttled the ships. He sunk them with all the information on board. And the 40 of them who were on board these ships, one ship was called Ehrenfels, one was Braunfels, and one was Drachenfels. There were Italians, Austrians, and Germans on the ships. So all these people, they got onto the lifeboats, and some came towards Aguada, the ship that was closer this side, and some went to Pasco. Now they were granted political asylum because the war was not over yet. So they were allowed to roam around, but they had to report till the war was over. The local girls from this village, they used to go to work as housemaids, to sweep, clean, water the garden. So one lady from this village fell in love with one of the German men. because these guys, they used to give them little money to buy cigarettes for them or whatever, small shopping. So that's how the friendship grew, and these two fell in love. And yeah, the war got over. Most of them settled down here, some in Vasco, some here, some there. This German gentleman fell in love with the lady from this village. Her name was Beatrice. They got married, and simultaneously 2 officers died. So they are buried up on the hill. I will show you their graves. They are war memorial graves. This German man who got married in this village, he had 6 children, 2 boys and 4 girls. The elder boy was Bernard. The second brother was Paul, Anna Marie, Isabella, Antonetta, and Adolfina.
Yes, an interesting piece of history.
Since you asked, usually I do it there after showing the graves and all. But since you asked, yeah, please, I don't let your breakfast turn cold. So this is my mom's house, and this is where my father lived after his retirement pension. And you are sitting at the exact place where he used to sit. And he had an easy chair which I want to do up, since now Varun has got me into that. I said, why not tell the history, because it's very interesting. And eventually they made a movie on this, which I told you about.
The Sea
Wolves.
The Sea Wolves.
Yeah, Gregory Peck and Roger Moore. My dad helped them with all the information. He actually wrote down the script. They went back to get their material, but unfortunately my dad expired by the time they came to film the movie. So yeah, Gregory Peck and Roger Moore sat in this house. They came to condole us with a big cake. They used to stay in the Taj Fort Aguada.
No, this appam is really good. Like this gravy, the sakuti gravy, it absorbs.
Yeah.
Into the appam.
Yeah,
And you have to have something with gravy to have the, otherwise they could be dry and as hot as possible.
Sakuti, that's what you say?
Shakuti.
Shakuti.
X.
X.
X-A-C-U-T-I. Sha. Like sh, no? The alphabet sh, yeah. So sha, sir, sha. Shakuti.
Shakuti.
Yeah.
So it tastes better the next day, as I said?
Yes,
Huh?
it matures.
If you keep it
matures?
tomorrow, this was made last night before I went to sleep. So it cooled off nicely by morning. All I did was warm it up. If you still keep it for another day, it is. Yeah. And you adjust the straps. Now, we saw Sinkeri Aguada from the land. Now we are going to have a good view from the sea what Sinkeri looks like. And if possible, if you are lucky enough, we might see a few dolphins. Okay?
And so we are going to do some fishing.
Where we are going to try some fishing, and Joshua will show you how they fish the local style. Yes.
So this is a lure. So a lure is basically a plastic fish which swims and wiggles like the actual motion of a bait fish. And then you have a predator, a fast swimming predator that will come and attack it. So you have really big fish that come and attack it, hence the size. So you'll have fish at around 10 kilos, 12 kilos come and attack this.
And you have these hooks.
Yeah, so those are treble hooks. They're very sharp, be careful about that. And if you see the lip, so with the pressure of water, it makes it dive deeper with the lip. If it had no lip, it wouldn't dive deep.
Kokum Sharbat.
So welcome to Goa. This is kokum water.
Thank you.
So these are mackerels. We call them bangde in our local language. Marinated with salt, lime, and roasted with our reshad, the famous reshad masala.
Oh, thank you. You also have some.
Yeah, don't worry.
So how do you make this sharbat?
The sharbat, once the kokum is completely ripened, most of them they collect when they fall to the ground. So that is the one which is like absolutely matured and ripe on the tree, and then it falls. So the fruit, when it's completely ripened, they take it and they crush it. So the juice that comes out, concentrated juice, that is preserved with salt most of the time, no other preservative, because by nature it's already sour. And some people preserve it also with sugar and salt. Some is without sugar, but salt is a must as a preservative. So here there is sugar as well as salt, because if it was only with salt, then the taste is not so pleasant.
We are live.
And we are back.
We are back. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for what? Yeah, it's not over. In Goa, the fun never ends. There's still more. Come
it?
on. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Uh,
Rodriguez Heritage.
Thank you. I'll keep this here.
Yes. Incidentally, this is Sabino. He works here as a manager,
Take care of, yeah.
caretaker, you can say. So he comes in the morning and leaves by evening. He looks around. I prepared the most sought after, the most famous dish called vindaloo. And this is pork vindaloo. It's usually made 2 to 3 days in advance. First the masala is made and applied to the meat and kept for 24 hours if you want that real authentic taste. And the more it matures, the better it tastes. So, and that is usually had with sanna or with a kind of a bread which we get here in Goa. It's called the katriatso pao.
So that's your bread basket. Huh? Number 8 because of the shape.
Yeah. This is pork vindaloo. So this masala is roasted a bit, the spices, before it is ground. And it is ground only with vinegar, no water. If you want, according to your need, consistency, how thick and thin you want, whilst cooking, what you can do is only add hot water, not cold water. So it starts immediately boiling. So I would like you to taste the Holy Ghost, Amen. Blesses the Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you, Lord, for this lovely company we have.
Okay.
And bless this meal. Make sure the bread is dipped quite a lot. So
And this oil and fat, everything. So you cooked it last night,
I cooked it day before.
day before.
As you eat it, you will sometimes take just without the bread. Eat it plain. Do you need a fork or a spoon from inside? So just eat one piece like this, plain. It's like pickled.
And the flavor is in this oil. More than the pieces.
So even with white rice, it's excellent. Usually I don't make it very spicy. They always complain because there are some people who don't like spicy food. Once you make it spicy, there's no way you can bring it back, to normal. So it's better to make it normal and then add if you want.
Now let's try it with the green chilies.
They say the name actually came about, there's a story to it. Don't know how far it's true though, but the story goes as you had a woman one day who cooked pork for her her neighbor. And the neighbor also is a woman. And they both sat down to have it. And they were both Portuguese ladies. So when she ate the pork dish that this woman had made, she was really mind blown by the taste and she went like, Vindaloo! So they say that's how the name came about, but we don't know for certain if that's how the name came about.
When it started the dish, they used to cook it with wine. So that's why Vindaloo.
So how often you make this dish at home?
We basically at home, from our side, we usually cook this dish twice a year at the most.
Is it?
Yeah. We are not great pork eaters, but most families in Goa, they have it every weekend on their plates. And some people cook it in bulk, so the whole week you have it, to stuff in bread or take it as a sandwich for work or have it as a snack, midday snack.
I'll just stay here to keep an eye on the bag now.
Okay.
उल्टा पेन लिया.
उल्टा तो बोलना था ना. ओके. ये ठीक है? ऐसे होता है?
और नीचे करो. हाँ.
सब नीचे?
हाँ. बराबर ही है. बराबर ही.
सही है? वाइट वाला दिखाओ. My name is Anubhav Gonzalez. Oh, मैं दुनिया में अकेला हूँ. दिल भी है खाली, जेब भी है खाली. चलिए, अब मज़ा आया ना गोवा का प्रॉपर. ये दोनों दे दीजिए.
ये चाहिए.
बस दो बहुत है मैम. दिख नहीं रहा. हाँ, ये
कलर है अलग अलग सारा.
जिस पे लिखा हो ना आई लव गोवा लिखा हुआ होता
लिखा
है.
हुआ इधर है.
आई लव गोवा.
सैंडो में ना?
सैंडो में. हाँ, ये देखो ऐसा लग रहा है. देख के ठंड लग रहा है और देख के गर्मी लग रहा है. हाँ.
क्या ईडो कर रहा है. मैं भी नहीं आ रहा है. मेरे मत निकालो भाई.
द बेस्ट वे टू मेक योर ड्रीम्स गोवा. गोवा इंडिया .com. ये वेबसाइट का प्रमोशन कर रहा है. ये नहीं,
दूसरा वाला दे दूं.
ये दिखाइए आई लव गोवा.
क्या साइज है आपका.
मेरा लार्ज. इसी में और भी है क्या ऐसा थोड़ा बीच टाइप बना हुआ हो ऐसे? आई लव गोवा. कितने का बताया ये?
300 का बताया.
नहीं रेट देने वाला.
देने वाला.
ठीक है राहुल. ये मैडम ये शर्ट कितने का?
हाँ?
ये शर्ट
450 का है.
250. 450. ये मेरे साइज़ का है. आ जाएगा राहुल. सब लंबा तो नहीं रहा बड़ा.
पहन के देख लीजिए ना इसको.
इसके बता दें. ये मेरे को देना पहन के देखता हूँ. मेरा साइज़ लगता नहीं बड़ा लग रहा है मेरे को.
डॉक्टर साहब चले.
कंपाउंडर है टाइप लग रहा है. ठीक है, साइज़ तो बड़ा है. साइज़ छोटा है इससे.
धोने के बाद थोड़ा छोटा हो जाएगा.
तो ज़्यादा बड़ा है ना. ये बड़ा है थोड़ा.
मतलब ढीला ही पहनता है ये लोग.
छोटा दे दो इसको.
एक साइज छोटा.
ऐसा छोटा दे दो.
वो है क्या देखो.
ये सब कहाँ बन के आता है? बॉम्बे, गुजरात। ये भी उतना ही साइज है, लंबा।
नहीं छोटा है।
हाँ देख लेना। My name is Gonzalez। गोविंदा लग रहा हूँ, गोविंदा। चल ठीक लग रहा है, चल जाएगा ये।
चल जाना चाहिए।